What the angel was telling Hagar about Ishmael is with that he will become wild, a wild man, the hand of everyone, of all hands. He will be the hands of everyone who are dwelling against, who are placed against, who are positioned against, who are dwelling against the face of all his brothers. So what the angel was telling Hagar is that Ishmael literally, he would be the hand of everyone, of all hands, of all people who are living or dwelling, his dwelling place, his habitat would be in hand with the enemies of Israel, against the face, the presence, in the path of all his brothers. If you look to your scriptures in Genesis 16:12, you will find a completely different translation than what the original manuscripts are telling you. It seems as though the translators really didn't put much careful time and thought into a lot of the scriptures, but they tried to overplay many scriptures as well and misrepresent the message. They had an agenda. They had certain things they wanted to make sure that teachings and doctrines would be stable for the king. And here in Genesis, explanation of Genesis 1:3. First notice here these words, be or exist or accomplishing, becoming, accomplishing. These two words are the same, be and was. Of course, we know that. God said, be light, become light, accomplishing light. God said, exist light, existing light. That's how the Hebrew scripture is written in the original manuscripts. It's very simple language, very simple. God saw him. This word right here, the translators leave this word out right here in the entire Bible. In most places, they never put it. It's actually a reflective pronoun on God. It's himself. This word right here literally means the word himself. And God saw himself. This Hebrews 8:53 is the word himself. God saw himself light was good. God divided himself light from darkness. They don't even have the courtesy and the basic respect to put the word himself. Through the entire Old Testament, they leave this word out. The translators left it out. We don't know why. There's no information about these King James lawyers. For some reason, they left a lot of words out. This word right here, that God saw light, is the word because or for, because good. God saw light for good. And here is another great mistranslation that was deliberately done on purpose. Yes, Genesis 29:30. Here is a lie that the translators deliberately and purposely wrote into their translation. Genesis 29:30. Jacob loved also Rachel more than Leah. This word more, this is not the word more or greater. They lied. This is a Hebrew word called mene. What Genesis 29:30 actually says in reality, it doesn't say that Jacob loved Rachel more than Leah. They were in a polygamist, plural situation. He had 4 wives. Well, he had 2 wives at first, but he seemed to really enjoy being with 2 women, 2 wives. What it says, and they tell you that in a roundabout way, and what the translators did was destroy the enjoyment message that Jacob had for his 2 wives. This basically was their goal. And he loved Rachel after Leah and served another 7 years. The reason why he loved Rachel from Leah or with Leah or after Leah is because he had Leah first. So he loved Rachel after Leah. The word more here does not exist in this verse. We'll take a closer look at this word, Hebrews 44:80, many. It's not the word more, but it's nowhere found to be the word more. It doesn't mean more. It's never used as more. They just throw that in there because they wanted to make the situation look as worst as possible, as bad as it possibly can get. And they continue to do that. We will take a closer look at that too. Here we go. Jacob loved Rachel after Leah, or from Leah, or out of Leah he would go to Rachel. This Hebrew word that they choose to lie to you about and say is more, this word right here is after, out of, or after, or from. It's not the word more. Jacob doesn't love Rachel more than Leah. He loves Rachel out of Leah, after Leah, from Leah. So here in Joshua 21:36, and out of the tribe of Benjamin, out of the tribe of Reuben, out of the tribe of Gad, all the tribes, they continually use this word, mini. It's not more. It's out of, after, or from. They are liars. They lie to you on anything they can think of that they wanted to change the doctrine and mold. Because before they came out with the authorized government King James Bible, they would literally burn you to death, or cut your head off, or cut your throat, or stab you to death, or they would kill your friends. They would destroy all your property. They would fine you. They would put you in prison. They didn't like the Bible. And you could really tell what they didn't like about the Bible whenever they went about to translate the Bible. And out of the tribe of Reuben, there were this many people, percentage of people. Out of, or from, the tribe of Gad, there was this many people, a number of people. This word is not more, it's not greater than. It has nothing to do with loving someone more or less. The translators are evil, conniving, Protestant liars, as most Protestants are liars. You can look through the entire scripture and you'll never find anything of this word mene being used to describe greater than something else, something greater than something else. That's not going to happen. The translators deliberately try to make polygamy a evil, bad thing, and they changed and manipulated the Bible in order to do that. So we have 1 Samuel 2:33. God says, I will not cut the man off from my altar. That they're saying is greater, or loving someone greater or more than. So he's loving Leah from Rachel. He's loving them both together. He's loving her just as much as her, and he loved Rachel after Leah and served another 7 years. Hebrews 44:80, many. It's not the word more, but it's nowhere found to be the word more. It doesn't mean more. It's never used as more. Like a musical chord, as played as strings, a stringed instrument, a deflective plural word, a union, words of unity and of belonging parts, as a part of, from, or out of, or after, or among, because of, by reason of, through, and with, along, and with. This word mene is used around 10,000 times in the Old Testament. Habakkuk 1:2, you are from, of, with, or in, you are from everlasting, O Lord. This word mene is used in Habakkuk 1:2 as the word from, or of, or with, or in. Being everlasting is a part of God. The word mene, you are from. Mene is the word from, or of, or with. Again in Zechariah 14:8, living waters shall go out from, out of, living waters shall go out with Jerusalem. This word mene is used 3 times in Zechariah 14:8.
living waters go from or of. Living waters are with or in Jerusalem. Half of them are in or with or from Jerusalem toward the front, and half are from or of them. Half of the waters go toward the rear of the sea. This is the Hebrew word minne. The waters are a part of Jerusalem. Again, Malachi 1:13, God said, "Should I accept this offering from, of, with, or in your hand?" Offerings are a symbolic part of the hand. In this verse, the word minne, from, of, or with, or in. Zechariah 14:17, the families from, of, or with, or in the earth go to Jerusalem to worship God. Zechariah 14:17, this word minne, families are a part of the earth. Zechariah 13:2, I will cut off the names from or of or with or in the idols out from the land. This word many is used twice here in Zechariah 13:2. I will cut off the names from the idols out from the land, of the land. The idols are a part of the land. The word mene, they're joined together with the land. They're from the land, of the land, with the land. They are in the land. That's what the word mene is. 10,000 times this word is used in the Old Testament. Never does it mean to be greater or more, or something is greater or less than something else. That is a lie. The translators lied to you. Zechariah 11:13, I was valuable. From, of, with, or of them I was valued. My value was a part of or in their price. Old Testament prophecy of Christ being valuable to the price of those who paid to get him killed. In them I was valuable. With them I was valuable. From them I had value. In capturing me, my value was a part of or in their price. This word mene is from, of, with, or in. Again, the heavens above stopped its dew from, of, with, or in the earth. The word mene is the word from, of. The dew is a part of the earth. The heavens above stopped its dew. It stopped its dew with the earth, in the earth, from the earth. The word mene. Zephaniah 1:10, there is a howling from, of, or with, or in the gate, and a great crashing from, of, with, or in the hills. Howls and crashes are a part of, or in, or with the gates and hills. Isaiah 63:15, the holiness is a part of heaven. Holiness is from, of heaven, is with heaven, is in heaven. God is looking down with holiness, in holiness, looking down of holiness, looking down from holiness, from heaven. Mene is the word from, or of, or with. Genesis 17:6, in the ark, male and female, from, or of, or with, or in, all flesh went in the ark. Male and female from, or of, all flesh, all the animals, male and female from all animals, or with all animals, went into the ark. Male and female are part of being animals. Genesis 22:11, and the angel called to Abraham from, or of, or with heaven, in heaven. The angel is a part of heaven. This word mene, from, of, or with, or in heaven. Genesis 22:12, I know that you fear God, seeing you have not withheld your son from me, is the word mene. Abraham was giving his son as an offering, or as belonging to God, in a ceremony sacrifice, and God took Abraham's faith as truth in his heart, believing that Abraham believed that his son was in, was from, and with, or of God's plan. He was mene. This word mene is in, from, or with, or a part of. His son was mene, God's plan. His son was from or with God's plan. That's what this word mene means. Abraham offered his son to be a part of his faith in God. Malachi 2:7, the priest's lips keep the law of his mouth, with his mouth, from his mouth. The priest is to keep the law from his mouth. The word he's speaking from his mouth, of his mouth, with his mouth, in his mouth. He is a messenger of the Lord. The law is a part of the mouth here in this verse, the word mene. And here, Isaac told Jacob to go get a wife from, of, or with, in, or among his cousins, his uncle's daughters. This word mene again is used here in this verse, meaning mene, from, of, or with, or in, or among, from. From his cousins, he is to get a wife. So when you look here in Genesis, so when you look here in Genesis 29:30, you see Jacob also. This word also is also used as well. Jacob also. The word also is together with. That's a different Hebrew word. This word also is the Hebrew word gam, G-A-M, gam. Jacob also. Genesis 29:30, Jacob loved also is the word also. This word also was used in 1 Samuel 28:23. Saul's servants together with, or also with, the women they compelled him to eat. 2 Samuel 26:25. Then Saul said, "You will both do great things and also will prevail." This word also is the word both. It can be used as the word together with. It can be used as the word also. It's accompanying, joined together. Jacob loved also, this word Hebrew word gam, also. He loved together Rachel with Leah and served another 7 years. This word mene has nothing to do with loving Rachel more or greater than anyone. The translators lied to you. They continue on to the next verse. They continue on lying continually. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb. This word was is not in the original manuscripts. The translators inserted this word. Leah was not hated. The fact is, Leah hated the situation that she was barren. The Bible never says that Leah was hated. It simply says that Leah hated the fact that she was barren, and she continues to rejoice all throughout the next 3 or 4 verses. She continues on to rejoicing to the next 3 or 4 verses that she's going to be able to have children. She wasn't hated. Nobody hated her. She hated the fact and was hurt by the fact that she couldn't have kids. And the Lord opened her womb. This word was not in the original manuscripts. Translators lied to you. Leah was not hated. Jacob loved Rachel together with Leah, and he served another 7 years. And when Leah found out she was barren, she hated it, and she was in misery. The Bible literally says in the next verse, 2 or 3 verses down, that she was in misery because she hated the fact that she couldn't have kids. That's what the original manuscripts say. It says nothing to do with Jacob hating Leah or loving Rachel more than Leah. Translators lied to you. They inserted these words that are not there, and they lied about the original manuscripts of the text. They continue to lie throughout the entire Bible.
So we see how the translators continue to lie. If you'll notice here in Genesis chapter 30, Reuben is the son of Leah. He was working in the wheat harvest, and he found some mandrakes, some herbs in the field. Rachel was working there too. She said to Leah, "Give me, I pray, I beg you, I ask you, give me of your son's mandrakes. Give me some of your son's mandrakes." If you'll notice, Leah said to Rachel, "Take yourself some work performed by my son, by my man." The word man was the word that was used, not the word husband. The translators lied to you. Leah simply said to Rachel, "Take some work, take a little work, take some work that's performed by my man," which was meaning her son. The word term man was meaning her worker. Her son was a worker in the field, her man. And Leah also said, "And also take some of my son's mandrakes as well." So as a man working in the field, Leah told Rachel to take some work from him, to put him to work. And also she said to take some of his mandrakes that he had found as well. You'll notice in Genesis chapter 30, Leah was then asked or given the suggestion, the idea, the junction and the unction and the ability and the opportunity to stay for the night. At this time, when all the harvesting of the working and the labor of the wheat fields was going on, and the sons and the wives and the servants and Jacob, everyone was working that was old enough to work in the wheat fields. The polygamous family, Leah, Rachel, and Jacob, their children, they all worked out a system, an opportunity for Leah to have and afford more children. It just worked out that way. This is a story of how Leah had more children. The translators turned it into a completely, total, deliberate perversion. So Leah can take care of her children and afford to have children and a future was foreseen by Leah putting her son, her man, every time she had a son, she called him a man. This is the Hebrew word man. This is the Hebrew word man. Translators lied to you. It is never ever used as husband except around this particular situation. The translators throw the word husband into the chapter to try to deceive you. In Genesis 4:1, and Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and she said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. This is not the word husband. It just means just a basic male, a basic man. The women, they called their sons man, just a person, a worker, a servant, an individual. Every time you see the word husband in Genesis chapter 30, referring to them working in the wheat field, it is simply the word man. And Leah was calling her children as a man. Her son was the man, not the word husband. That's a lie. The translators are liars. It's just a basic word for a son, a man, a male. Therefore a man will leave his father and mother and shall cleave to his wife. This is not the word husband. It's a word meaning ish, a man, a male. This is not the word husband. Translators lied to you. Leah, in the Bible, in Genesis chapter 30, the translators lied. In the Bible, she never mentions having a problem with receiving love and physical affection from her husband, Jacob. In the original manuscripts, Leah's only problem was that she was temporarily barren, but she went on to have sons and daughters, or we know at least one daughter and 6 sons we know of. And later, her sons became a financial blessing to her and her polygamous situation, her big family life that she had with 4 wives and 1 husband. And she used her children in farming and working in the fields to perform work, and enabled her and her sons to have stability, riches and wealth, and a future, a dowry, a gift for the future, a plan, a growth of their financial stability. It's what the whole verse, chapter 30 is all about. It's about them building their financial stability. And Leah put her son to work with Rachel, allowing Leah to afford and to have or to bear and support more and more children. See the facts. Genesis 30:14. And Reuben went in the days at the time of the wheat harvest, and he found some herbs. He found some aphrodisiacs, some sweet-smelling mandrakes in the field. They were working. And Rachel said to Leah, give me, I ask you, of your sons, give me some of your sons mandrakes. And Leah said, take yourself some work. Put my man to work. Referring to her son, not her husband. The translators have deceived you. They purposely rewrote this whole chapter. Leah saying, take a little work, take some work performed by my man, my boy, my son, meaning her son who was in the field. He was out in the field, the wheat field, picking some sweet-smelling plants. And Leah said, put my man to work. You asked for mandrakes, put my man to work. And she said also, take some, take a little, take some of my son's mandrakes as well. Take some. This word some is the word that they use for, is it little for you to fiddle around with my husband? This is a lie. Leah was then given the suggestion and the idea, the polygamous family, Leah. Genesis 30:18, Leah said, God hath given wages, hath given a hire, a working man, meaning her sons. This word man, the translators tried to trick you and lie to you. It does not mean husband in the Bible. Leah was referring to the ability for her son to work and calling him her man, not a husband. Because she said, I basically have given the polygamous family of working wives and children, we have provided another man or another worker. You'll notice in Genesis 30 that there's a maiden. Rachel was called the maiden. She was the worker in the verse. She was a wife, a worker, and a servant. She was in the field. She was the worker who put the man, the son of Leah, which was called the man, she put him to work. The polygamous maiden. Rachel was given a worker who was a man, who was the son of Leah. Genesis 30:20, and Leah said, God hath endued me, he hath endowed me, he hath given me with a good dowry, a good gift, a good future, a good stable plan. Now she had another son, another man, another son, another worker, is joined with me, truly bearing 6 sons. She called him Zebulon. With all the work that the polygamous family did, all the work that this polygamous family performed, in Genesis 30:26, Jacob said to his father-in-law, give me my wives, my children, whom all have served you, and let us go. For you know all the service which has been done. These people were out here working day and night in the field. This is exactly what the manuscripts say. Your Bible translation is perverted and incorrect. If you'll read Genesis chapter 30, Leah was referring to what they call her husband in chapter 30 in the field working. This is the word man, referring to her son as a man. And every time Leah has a baby, she calls the baby a man. Eve called the baby a man. If you notice in Genesis 29:33, Leah hated the fact that she was barren. She said, God hath heard that I personally, I hated it, and has given me this son also, and called his name Simeon. And then Genesis 29:34, she conceived again, and bare us another son, and said, this time my man is joined to me. I have now borne 3 sons, and called him Levi. She didn't say, this time my husband will finally be joined to me, or my husband will finally love me. No. The translators are lying to you. This is not the Hebrew word husband. It's referring to a man. Every time she has a son, she calls her son a man. I have received another man. This time a man. She's not saying that Jacob's going to love her, but she's receiving another man to love, referring to her sons. Genesis chapter 29 and 30 is filled with lies in your translation. Jacob never hated Leah. Jacob never had a problem with showing affection and love and having sex with Leah. The whole story is about Leah being barren and unable to have kids, finally being able to have kids. And she refers to her sons every time she has a son as a man who she loves. It's not talking about her husband showing affection to her and not having sex with her and hating her and not liking her and not wanting to be with her. This is a lie. The translators have deceived you. Genesis 29 and 30 is a story of them having children, putting their children to work in the fields, and getting up and out and away from where they are and moving on with their lives as a polygamous family. Read it from the original manuscripts. You'll find a completely different outlook, completely different story. The translators are liars.